Alright guys, back out here another day. That's what I got going on. I went and picked up a couple sensors today. This is the just the standard LS1 sensor or 99F body. And then this is it's like a 3/8 version. I don't know. I think it's the 3/8. I asked for the 3/8. He said it looks kind of big. I don't remember my other one being this big. But anyways, I'm going to do my best at working it down, getting it to this size so that I can use my M12 150 die. And then this tap, I gotta drill this sucker, but this tap is gonna be for here, and then that way I'm gonna be able to run my old style sender for the oil. So one's for oil, one's for water, and we will get that all we'll get it all going here today. So starting off, yeah, we got the yesterday we cleaned up the transmission, so it's looking good. So yeah, I love that pressure washer. This sucker is awesome. So that's done, and then the engine, I gotta pull the intake back off. I gotta put these this harness in, and then we'll get our oil pressure sender handled and get our water temp and blah 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 blah. So get going on that now. We'll see how it comes out. Alright guys, there's the flex plate. You can see we're pretty dang center. There's a little bit of movement, kind of always. So I'm going to tomorrow, I'll take and I don't know, I guess I'll hoist the engine, hoist it over here. But anyways, I'll bolt this on, I'll get it up to the tranny and get it all bolted up and make sure everything lines up. So as long as I can get these started and get them in, we should be good to go. So it turns, it's not rubbing anything, seems to be pretty centered. And then once it's bolted to the engine, it's going to be centered anyway, so that's not really going to matter. So I just took my my Dremel with the carbide bit, and I just elongated the hole on the outside just a little bit. It didn't take that much, maybe, I don't know, like I'd start with like 1/8 of an inch on probably a little over 1/8. I mean 3/16 max, but probably like 1/8 of an inch. I wallered on all of them, and you can see, you know, you can see the deal there. But these bolts are good. They got a nice big shoulder on them. I don't think I'm gonna have an issue. Pulled the intake. Got the knock sensor dealio. I did put a little silicone around them just because this intake's not that tight, and then if I ever like decide to blast the sucker off, if I get it muddy or something, I just want to keep the keep water and stuff down in those little channels. It provides a decent seal, but I just want to make sure I'm not going to have an issue. So anyways, I torqued that back down. Then I filed this down on my drill. You've seen that with the file. I just worked it for a while, and then I tapped it, or excuse me, I put it in the die. Well, I tapped it, I guess, with the die. But the die is here. It's a M12 1.5. All right, and then the sensor was 1/8 NPT. Now, yesterday I had drilled a hole in one of the sensor. You know, I knocked the sensor off one of the bases. I had drilled the hole 3/8, tapped it, and then it seemed a little bit loose, but I put plenty of Teflon tape. Actually, you know what I did? I didn't take Teflon tape. I took a little bit of that gray RTV, Super GREY, baby. I took a little of that and put it on the threads and put it down there until it was tight. It looks like the threads are good. Maybe they're not as deep as I need to, but it's still tightened. It didn't pull the threads loose, so I'm not really sweating it. I'm going to get a 90, which is a female, not a 90, but a 45, so a female, and then that way I can put the cinder like right here. So a female, yeah, female 45. That should do me good right there. They didn't have one at Lowe's today, so I'll have to go to like a, you know, like a more of a, it's like a hardware store that's got pipe and stuff like that. Made a good little push tonight. I wasn't really feeling it earlier. I was like, man, I'm not gonna go out, but then I decided, you know what, let me just get out and get going, and then once you get going, you get going. So that's really it. Tonight I don't want to fool with hoisting this sucker over here. It's one of those things you want to start fresh with, you know, make it your only task for the night, and then if you know, succeed, then move on. So I still got to put the little deal in there. I forgot one. It's over here. Let's see. And this is, I think it's an actual, like a specific size for the LS engines, because I sized them, so I think for just like a standard small block, it's a different size. So there it is, 0145 3658. Yeah. Alright guys, hopefully you can see up in there, kind of see from that angle. You can see that there's the converter, and it is up in that adapter. Alright, so the snout of the converter is sitting up in that adapter, so it's keeping that straight, and then that adapter goes into the crank. So that is happening, and we got our bolts here. You can see there. So you know, just wall it out just enough, get everything to fit. So everything's up in there now, and I wanted to check it out kind of for myself, but yeah, it looks good. So I'm digging it. I'm gonna get this sucker up in the air and try to get it in the back of the K10. Kinda, sometimes you wish you don't have a lifted truck when you're doing this kind of stuff, huh? Anyways, that's all. Alright guys, sorry I didn't have it rolling while I was loading it. It probably would have made the comic reel. But anyways, it's sitting in the truck, so it's just got to make a short little ride over to the side of the house. And I wanted to get it in enough to where it wasn't sitting on the tailgate. I had originally had it sitting on the tailgate. I had to reposition the little hook or whatever on the chain so it would pick up the front more than the back. But yeah, it got in. So anyways, I ended up having to shut the garage more because it was up so high. It would have hit the boom, would have hit the garage door. So I'm gonna wheel this to the side or drive it over, and then I will get the hoist over, and we'll get it hoisted into that frame tonight. Yeah, sounds like a plan to me. I don't know about you. And then we'll work on everything else. We'll kind of start working around it. So that's the plan. Anyways, here we go. I'm talking. I'm rambling. guys, so here we are. I basically just dropped her in here, and I gotta tell you, I don't know if it's me or if it just, the engine seems to go in a lot easier when there's no body around it. So yeah, dropped right in. That's the way, you put the engine in first and build around. I don't know, that seems like a good method. Anyway, so we'll see how that pans out. But so to this weekend, I don't know about tomorrow, but this weekend I'm gonna get the bolts in for this front hangers, get my core support on, put my radiator, my fan, get everything all mocked up there, figure out where I'm gonna put my cross member, all that good stuff. So I'm just gonna tarp it for the night. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. And as always, guys, I appreciate you rolling with me, and thanks for liking and subscribing and all that good stuff. So I'm just gonna tarp it up and get out here and get working on it. So hopefully this weekend will be okay. It's kind of the end of monsoon season, but we don't get too much rain, so hopefully I won't get too much. But that's it, guys. Have a good night. I appreciate you rolling with me.